for Johnny Long. I'm not in the hobo deep. Not today, anyway. But maybe later on today. All right. So let me have a sit down here. Right here. All right. So today we're talking about. We're going to meet. I'm not going to say we're talking about, but we're going to meet the innovation of Leo Fender. All right. And we're going another route today. We're going this route. The Musicman Saber and the Musicman SR5. Now, the Musicman Saber came from the true Leo Fender. The SR5 came from Leo Fender, but Ernie Ball took it over and put their twist on it. But the whole design was Leo Fender. So today, we're going to talk about the intervention of them. Is intervention a good word? Is that a good word, intervention? Nah, let's not use that word. Well, I already said it now, so use what you want to use. All right, so today we're going to look at this bass. This is a 1979 Saber. If you look at the headstock, it's got the Brother Johnson on it. Look, but you don't see Ernie Ball because this is 1979. You see the true Musicman, same, the Brother Johnson on the back. This has a skunk stripe, we call it a skunk stripe, and a 3-bolt. And it has the famous vintage color. Now the pick guard I did myself. I like it. Now, with this bass, you have volume, blend, bass and treble. On the original, you had volume, blend, and I can't remember. Look, I can't remember. But this has a tone monster in it. But it does have the 3-way switches on each one. One for out of phase, the other one for boost, and this for cut. And none of these work. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all that before I even get into it. I had them working, but they're not working anymore. This is the innovation of Ernie Ball. This is the SR5. They call it SR5 or the Stingray 5. Everything on this is original. You're also looking at the old radio tuning knobs. Look, I put them up there. But it's got the white pickup, and this model is the 99, 98, 99. As you can see on the Ernie Ball, they always put Ernie Ball and then the Brother Johnson and then Musicman Stingray. All right. This is the 4-5, meaning 4 on top, 5, 1 on the bottom. This is a 6-bolt. Yet and still 9-volt battery. Yet and still 3-way switch. That's me right there, baby. 5s are cool, but 3s are better. So, we're going to start out first by just talking to this girl. So, I'm coming through my PF350 with, as we can see, it has a 110 and then a horn. This one has a 110 and a horn. With this, I have to turn the horn pretty much to detent and a little bit past detent, because we're now talking to basses that has very high-end dish output, high-end dish output. All right, so we got everything turned on the head to 9 o'clock. Right? I figure at 9 o'clock I can deal with it, because I'm pretty much taking everything off the bass and nothing off the amp. Only thing I want the amp to do is make it louder. So I may have my volume a little loud, but my controls, I don't want them loud. I want them pretty much off. So we're now on Stingray range. So we plug it in. First thing we want to do is check the tuning. Already I can hear it. This joint is beastie. With the tone monster preamp, I got the preamp in there. I have it on look, halfway. coolest thing about um, this bass here is that it has two pickups, and the pickups are smaller. They came back out again in a couple years ago with the Saber 2 or something like that. But Ernie Ball had their own Saber too. I had an '82 Saber that was absolutely amazing. I had two of them. I had two red ones that I thought was blazingly amazing. They didn't have this three-way switches. They had that one switch that cuts like maybe 4 or 5 times or something, and it did 4 or 5 things like front pickup, rear pickup, both pickups, and out of phase or whatever case may be. This one doesn't have that. This one has the three-way switches. I don't have them anymore because I have my tone ups in there. I could have hooked the switches up where they could do something weird, but I decided not to. Basically, they only have two wires. For those who are luthiers and guys who understand what I'm talking about, if it had 4 wires, I could do amazing things. They only have 2 wires on it. So, but the pickups that's in this bass right here are completely smaller than the regular pickups that comes in the Stingray nowadays, the SR4, SR5, 35 Ray and stuff like that. Or even different pickups from the pickup that's in this SR5 here. All right, so let's get started. All right, so we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna go to rear pickup first, which is the Stingray type sound. Everything is off. This bass is extremely loud, so might have to turn it down. Alright, so what you fail to understand is the neck on this thing is actually smaller than a Jazz, but right there at the Jazz and the P. But I think it's much thinner. But it's the fastest bass you can put in your hand from the '70s. The fastest bass. It has the most power. It has the most agility. Agility. I said agility. It has the most characteristics. It does a lot more than you think it does. It can easily get away from you. It's like driving. You've been driving a Camaro all your life, 6 cylinder, and then you jump into a Bugatti. There's nowhere in the world that you can understand what that car could do. That's what this bass is like. So for those who have these basses, I get it. You don't get it. You need to sit down with them. You can't take them to a gig and expect them to be nice. Look, they're wildcats. But anyway, they're stingrays. They in the ocean. Like they do what they want to do. They go anywhere they want to go. What you hear is a rear pickup, and it sounds with nothing on. That's what it sounds like. Front pickup. Percussive wise, I think Ken got his percussiveness from this bass. That's the front pickup. Watch the rear. The Stingray is a cool bass in this year, 77 on up to 79 or 82. It's a cool bass in that year. But this right here, it's like a mixture of Jazz and Musicman together. The Jazz bass and the Musicman, and it does both of them overly well. But remember what I said, overly well. Now this bass sounds like this, and nothing is on. I said nothing is on. Nothing is on. That's what you hear. Just no preamp on. Just the bass itself. I could wear this bass itself without even the preamp. That's what I'm saying to y'all right now. That's how incredible this bass is. That's the thought of Leo Fender. That's the incredibleness of Leo Fender's thoughts. That's the whole genre of frontierman, of the thought of a frontierman from the '70s. I can't say enough about Leo Fender, man. All right, so we're gonna take this. We don't really have to, but we're gonna take the trouble to D10. Watch this. undergirth. It's the undergirth that gets me about this bass. The undergirth. You know, whatever you try to present on the neck, it takes it and go, I'm gonna make it better. Look, I'm gonna make it better. Oh my God. So treble wise, I'm not going no further than D10. Actually, I'm gonna pull back on D10. I'm gonna take it to like halfway between D10 and off, and that'd be too much actually. Now, let's go with bass at D10. Let me ask you a question. What are we missing nowadays? Are we missing this sound? Because I don't hear too much of this anymore. I'm hearing a lot of clicks and overtones of treble and no girth. This bass has girth. And I guess that was the word I was looking for at the beginning. Girth. This bass has girth. We don't have basses anymore that has girth. We have basses now that's so specially designed that they take bass to another level, which is not the level basses were made to go. They was made to be the bottom keeper. The bottom keeper. I get it making them cleaner. I get that. But the girth that this bass has is unbelievable. That's why when you hear me play it, I am so in that era of 70s. And it takes me there and it keeps me there. And I want it to. Because it's made for that. That's a D10. Now let me cut it back. I could sit here all day with this bass, but I won't, because this video would get really, really long. So we're going to put her down, because basically it's a lot I can say about this bass. You ain't got the time. All I can say is, if you got one, play it. And I guarantee you'll think twice about picking anything else up. Leo Fender, when he brought this out, he was thinking, I'm going to make a killing with it. This bass, and when he said make a killing, I believe he meant I'm going to get him the best of every world that I got right here. Now, let's look at this girl. This is the SR5. Now, if you saw my other video of my Deluxe 5, my Deluxe 5 has the maple on ash. This is probably the same thing, maple on ash. These basses talk a little different. They don't talk like maple on maple. The ash has a tendency to be a little bit lighter in weight, but they speak differently. So what we're going to do, we're going to tune it up first, make sure it's in tune. Hear already that it has this certain sound, which is when Leo thought about this bass, it's the same thing he thought about the Stingray bass, the 4-string. He tried to figure out, I need to make one pickup do more things than any other pickup in the world, and he came up with this concept. That man was unbelievable. I'm just saying that. I wish I could say more about him. Can't do it right now. All right, so this thing has the three-way switch. All right, my favorite setting is right here. The settings I love is all three. Remember that. All right, so we're gonna start with the front. And the bass and the treble is off. There's no mid cut in this bass. So whatever the bass sounds like, the body sounds like, that's your mid. So you have to figure out between the texture of your body and the texture of your neck and make those mids talk with the treble and the bass. Check this out. You can hear a little bit of the twang on the top. You can hear the pureness of the twang on the bottom. You can hear the texture of the whole bass itself. All of that is coming out of one pickup. All of that is coming out of one pickup. Now let's take that same pickup and go in the middle. Here's the front. Here's the front. You hear the balls. There's the balls in the front. In the middle. Hear more of the mids coming through. More mids. A little light on the balls. But they're still there. Now, here's my sound, which if you ever thought Stingray or get hit by a Stingray, this would be it, the rear setting. That's the sound I call, you take a country person and send them to New York, in 20 years they come back, they talk proper. That's what this sounds like. That's the proper. Now if I do the same thing in the middle, that's the mids. That's the mid. When I call the middle, that's the mid. Here's the front. Now, let's go through all of them and dial in treble to D10. Watch this. Here's the front. Now, here's the middle. I'm telling you, just 3 settings, man, is giving you everything you need from one pickup. Watch this. Here's the rear. Here's my favorite setting. Now, what is it that I like about this? Well, the mids are scooped out. They're there, but they're scooped out. So look, all this is happening, and I haven't touched my bass yet. Now watch when I touch my bass and bring it to D10. That's the D10 right there. Front, watch this. In the middle. little bit because I know that I'm doing a mix out in the house. I may bring my treble up just past D10, just a little, just to let the sound man know I'm doing a little bit more cut. Don't touch anything. I like what I got, but I'm bringing up my cut. I want to say if I'm hearing my side feels and I know I don't hear exactly enough cut, I can always bring it to 3/4 and get this. Now wait, I'm only dealing with my mids, my treble, my bass, and my mids. I ain't got to my treble yet. I haven't got there yet. I'm dealing with just the mids. So I bring the mids up to 3/4 a little bit because I want it to come out there, but I want it to be heard but not overtaken. Now watch me when I want it to be heard and not overtaken and pronounced. I go to the second button, which is the mids. Which is my treble, sorry. And I take my treble and take it to D10. Watch how the bass wakes up. Watch this. Now, I'm going to go back in the middle. I want to take the mids, bring them back to the middle, keep the treble at D10, keep the bass at D10, and listen at it. Front. That's when the balls come in. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to the rear, which is my favorite setting. Now watch this. You hear that scissor come in? That's that saber sound. Now watch me. If I take it past D10, it'll give me more saber sound. Watch this. Listen, I could keep doing this over and over, going through this bass, but people don't understand the concept of this bass, the SR5. Everybody either turn everything wide open and not listen to the texture of what this bass can actually do. This bass can do amazing things. That's why it was invented to do amazing things over and above. So if you got SR5, it's time for you to sit down and actually come to the concept of I got one pickup, but that one pickup can do more than two pickups. Right? I just have to listen. I just have to learn. I just have to take the time to listen and learn and see what this thing would actually do in my hands. All right? Do I just want to play one setting for the rest of my life? That's what you want to do. You do that one setting. If you want to do two settings for the rest of your life, that's what you do. You do those two settings. But learn what those two settings can do with the mid and treble and bass. You don't always have to open your bass all the way open. You don't always have to open your mids all the way open. You don't always have to open the treble all the way up so you can get that twang every time you, even on slow songs, all you hear is ping, 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 ping. That's not the game of this bass, man. The game of this bass is if you want to get into the funk thing, be doing 70s funk thing, then you got the bass to do it with. It'll give you all the highs, all the twang, all the pop you want. But if you want to get into Motown, it also darken up. but you have to know, you have to learn your switch tones, and that's why that three-way switch is there, and now the five-way switch. And I think the big owls have more switches than a plane. From what I've seen, the big L has more switches than an airplane. But my thing is, I'm old school, so I'm gonna stay close to the old stuff, and because the old stuff works for me. All right, for a lot of people it doesn't work, but the old school works for me. Now they have the SR5 out with the double humbucker that looks almost like the Saber. Um, I'm gonna stick to this right here. I've had those basses, and I thought they was incredible, but not for me. All right. So once again, guys, I just introduced you two people that made history and still making history. That is the Saber and the SR5. Now, before I go, see this right here? That is the Johnny Lee Long The Walk CD. It is out on the market right now. What I need for you guys to do is pick one of the favorite songs on this album, and actually send it to your favorite radio station, get them to play it, or send it to your favorite iHeart or your favorite internet place, and get them to play a song for the rest of the month. All right, not just for one day, for the rest of the month. And next month, which is August, I will be bringing up another bass player project, and I'll be introducing him or her to you guys. And now for the whole month, I want you guys to pick a song off their project and do the same thing you did for me. And I figured by the end of the year, a lot of people will know a lot of bass players, right? Or begin to know that they're more than bass players, they're producers. All right. So once again, guys, sorry who didn't show up on this video either, but shada kaka, folks. Shada kaka. We out. Peace.